Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Screwdrivers. And we're ready today to get straight into the next tier of competition, which is a few more races. Not sure how we're going to go with this, because this is one of those races where you have to keep the car quite well on the road. Got some tricky turns. So we'll give it a try anyway. We should be going quick enough to beat them. Now that we've got some gas engines on the car. Maybe we're going fast enough, maybe not. Nothing like a bit of a shortcut. And yes, this track's a little bit difficult without any downforce. You have to be kind of careful where you put the car. You can't just force it around the track. Across the rough stuff. Try and keep it straight, and we'll cut this corner short. On for lap 2. 100 kilometres an hour, hey? Things will get a lot better when we actually get some gearboxes on these engines. Not sure which race they open up in. I can hear him, he's still right on my tail. On the road limiter. And we're finished. Done. Some more gems. And some street suspension. The street suspension's a little bit hard for my liking. And I reckon more chests, and I don't think that's right. So we'll head back to the garage and we'll check, and no, there are no more chests on the map, and we don't have anything left to do to build to the car, because the only part we unlocked was a street suspension, and the off-road that we've got I feel is better than the street suspension, especially when you get a bit of a bumpy road. The street suspension's okay when you've just got a pure tarmac circuit, but it can still be just a little bit too stiff, and you tend to bounce on the road instead of follow over the bumps and the undulations in the road. So we'll head back out and on to the next race, which is the acceleration race up the hill, which we may not be going fast enough for, because we don't have any gearbox yet. We're still stuck on a single gear. We'll give it a try and see how we go. The takeoff is not very fast. We beat bronze. That's good enough to get our parts. We still need to go another 1.5 seconds quicker to get to the gold. We got a silver. Racing wheels. Okay, and straight away on to the next race, because we don't have any use yet for those. Long jump. And this is another one where we won't be able to get a gold, not with this little car. back up and get as good a run up as we possibly can. But we need to be going a lot quicker than what this car can launch us off the line. Should go quick enough to get a bronze, so. Yep, there's our bronze, and we got a silver, not quite a gold. And did we get a part? Yes. Oh, look at that. Now we have some wings. We will put some of those on our car. Right. Back to the garage. And into build mode. And into the shop with the tab key. And we'll buy 4 little winglets. Change our colour over to yellow. And let's put 4 wings on the car. And these are very handy little spots to put them here on top of the suspension. And that should hold us down to the ground a lot better when we're going around corners. It's not really good downforce, but it's enough to keep our wheels touching the ground. And on to the next race again already, which is the Rapid Rally, which this is another one we might not be going fast enough for. And the reward is going to be the big gear, which, yes, hardly anybody ever uses a big gear in the gearboxes because they're literally just too big. Even though they don't have a hitbox and you can let them scrape, they make your car very large when you try and put a whole car together around them. Hairpin. Oh, I didn't think we'd be going fast enough for this race. It looks like we're going to be able to beat them no problem at all. Even with our top speed limited at 100. Whoa, there he goes. Cut this corner short a little bit. Slow down because we're going so slow. Give it a hairpin again and climb up the hill for the second lap. Yes, a little bit of downforce. It's not much from those winglets, but it's just enough to keep us on the ground so that you only just have to lift off through the corners. One more corner to go. And we're done. It was a pretty easy race to win. And the big gear unlocked. It's not going to give us a tutorial on it. Back out to the garage, and we've got one more race on this tier, which is the Queen of Quickening, and she will be real easy to beat. And there we go, there's our gear shift, 2-step gear shift. And after this we can build a new car. We can finally get a gearbox and start going fast. Barely takes off. Once we're going, we just leave her behind. And at this speed, we'll pretty much just be able to fly around the track with barely even lifting off. And she is just getting further and further and further behind. And all of them, well, most of the Monarch races are just point A to point B races. So they're over very fast. And a little bit of a let off to go around this corner. And this one as well. Now, I've got analog steering, but I do not have analog accelerator and brake. There's a little bit of a bug in the code for controllers at the moment. And unless you've got an Xbox controller or an Xbox equivalent controller, you don't get any analog until you either go in and edit it or we wait until it's finished. We've unlocked the chassis of the Queen of Quickening, which that's a lot of gears. And we'll take that chassis. New part unlocked, gear shift. We'll play the part introduction. With this gear shifting module, you can now use your combustion engines to their fullest. Let's go build it already. Okay. Take apart. And place it here on the engine. This part can move its tip back and forth in order to shift gears. Let's first build 2 equally big gears as our first gear. Into here, and we want to put a re-axle in there. Okay, perfect. Our car can already drive. Now let's build the big and the very small gear so that we can shift to our second gear for much more top speed. Back into the inventory, put on the big gear and the small gear just slightly off to one side. And you see that both these gears don't grind into each other. The car will automatically switch to the second gear if you're fast enough. You can try shifting the gears in the build menu though. And that is, make sure you've got nothing in your hand and click on it and it will shift the gears. And it is sometimes good to test that. Fascinating. Now press X and you will see your new gear shifting mechanism in the power curve. You can see that the car has a lot of power at low speed and then shifts to the second gear as soon as the first gear could not provide any more power. Yeah, we can see it here that that's the gear shift point that it's given us. If we look at the green curve, that's actually the other car. So we can't actually compare them. Successfully completed. Okay. Now it's time to build a new car. We will move our Queen of Quickening car to the Royals and move this one to the junkyard. And we'll leave this car as it is. And we're going to start a new car because we're going to build a gearbox now. And we're pretty much going to start the car at the gearbox. So we'll delete nearly all of the parts on here. The only bit we'll leave is this bit. And then from here, we will start with a pin. And we will need to go buy another one of these so that we've got 2. That way we can have 3 gears, and we'll buy another 2 engines. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put down a gear change and face it this way. And then we're going to get another gear change. Put it straight onto that one, facing back the other way. So what we've actually ended up here is with gear change feeding straight into another gear change. Now we can delete our block that we started with. Now we want to put a 5-axle on here. And that will allow us to give us somewhere to mount our engines. Now this is actually a little bit of a bug where it allows you to drive your gear change on the input using the mounting hole. And I really hope that they never actually fix this bug. There we go. And now I've got 4 engines. That should get us going pretty quick. And we have to make sure we put the small gear here so that when this here pulls in, it doesn't hit the engines. We put our big gear on the end. Now we need a 4-axle here. Put our matching gears on this side. And repeat the same thing back again this way. Oh, I need to buy some more gears. We'll buy a couple this time, because we'll be using these quite a bit. Okay. Now we'll put our gears on here. And this is going to give us a 3-speed gearbox, which should be good up to about 200 kilometers an hour. And I do prefer to build my cars as a transverse gearbox, and we'll put a 4 on here. Just because it makes them very simple and you use the least amount of parts possible to put the gearbox together. Because, yeah, that's our engine and gearbox all built. And we've hardly used any parts. We'll place it with a 3-pin. And we don't have any of those. We need to buy a couple of those. Buy 4 of them. Okay, and we'll put one up there. And this is so we can connect the front of our car on. And just as we did with the other engines, when you put 2 of these side by side, they like connect to each other and you don't actually have to pin the second one. They'll stay connected. Okay, from here, we can gear straight to the back wheel, because this should give us a 0.8 first gear, a 1-to-1 second gear, and a 1.25 third gear. And one of these gears is duplicated across the gearbox. And if we check in here in our build menu, it should show us 3 gears, and it's only showing us 2, which means we must have something wrong. Okay, no, it's not that we don't have anything wrong. It's because we don't have it connected to a wheel yet. You have to have it connected to a wheel for it to be able to show you that it's doing something. So we'll put another axle there. We'll gear that up once there, and gear that up once there. Need to change that to a 5. So it gives us somewhere to mount our axle on too. And now our suspension. And a 5-axle for the diff. And now if we put a wheel on here, it should give us a final top speed of how fast our car can go. And if we did it right, we are at about 70 for first, at 115 per second, and then all the rest of it will go up to about 200 kilometers an hour, which is spot on. Now we're into the league of fast cars. Now, something weird that happens across the suspension is you don't actually have to support this suspension. Just having it connected through the axle will support the entire car. And we can do something similar to the front as well. We'll just take an estimate and say that we need a 5 to get to the front wheels. And that's about close. And put those on there. Oh, don't let me connect it on them. I have to look around the other side. There we go. Make sure to make them steerable. Put our wheels back on the front. Now we should be able to get an idea of where our center of mass is. And we need a little bit more weight to the right-hand side of the car. And just looking at this, I think our weight is just a little bit too far forward. So to move some weight to the one side of the car, we'll actually put an axle in the middle, and we'll remove those two and just put a pin. So we're only connecting basically one side of the front suspension, and that should move our weight slightly to the right. And now we also have to get some more weight on the right-hand side of the vehicle. And we still don't have this actually connected up onto here yet. Better connect the front and the back of the car together, otherwise it will bend in the middle. And I'm pretty sure we're just a little bit still more to the left. Normally I have more gear sticking out of this side of the car with a different kind of transmission that we use for when you make a 4-speed over a 3-speed. So how to move some weight over? Well, the obvious way is to just add a couple extra blocks. So we'll put a 3-beam in there. Put another block there behind the engine. And that should move it a little bit more to the... Actually moved it to the front instead of to the side. Yes, where to add weight. Oh, we might leave it just a little bit off center for the time being. And we'll run with where it's at. Now I'll grab our 4 little winglets and put them back on the top of the suspension. And that should be pretty good. We don't have much downforce, but we're a pretty light car for the amount of speed that we can get. And our acceleration is pretty good as well. So let's go take it for a test drive. And while we're doing that, we will pick up the new boxes that are around. So we'll start off here at the Strange Tower. And you can see straight away that our acceleration is a lot better. And I fall over straight away. We need to head up to the top of the hill. Here we've got a chest. castle. Oh no, it's not at the castle. It is here in the middle of... There it is. Laser cut for the front. Pretty sure over this side. Look at this. Here's a... Grab that checkpoint. I don't think running up the side of the mountain is a good idea. We'll go down the not so steep side. Nicely bumpy stuff. Oh, nicely done until the end. So this is what an unbalanced car does. When you jump, it will not jump straight. It will always lean to one side when you jump. I'm very sure I seen one of the boxes was over here. Oh, there it is. Must have drove straight past it. There it is. More weights. And then there's another one behind us. Here. Ruins. I think it's in there. No, it's not in there. Under here, perhaps. No. Perhaps it is inside. Either that or it's up on top. So while we're under here, if we prepare, it'll put us up a level, and then up a level, and there it is. Another panel. And we'll just jump straight down off the side. Brake. Another box over this way. Somewhere around here it is. What do we get with this one? Another laser cut. While we're over this way, we'll go for a run out on the pier. Yes, I know. Oh, look at that. Here's a flag. The harbour. So we run out onto this pier. I know there's paints out here. And there's another treasure chest. What do we get out of this one? A 9 axle. Here, and there's another one. Incline panel. And reverse all the way over here and we get a paint. Cork orange. And I think that might be all of our treasure chests. This round. I have a feeling that there was a paint over here in the middle. But I'm not seeing the little green beam of light that comes down to the top of it. And perhaps there's not. Oh, look at that. We'll have that. In the forest. Paint inside of here. Sometimes they hide them inside the castles. No. Oh, did not expect that jump. The car is a little bit fragile for when you hit big jumps. Have a look. No. There's no pain. So let's head back into the garage and we'll double check our map. No, there is still one there. And we'll start at the strange tower again, and it is, we'll just follow the dirt road along. That'll take us to them. That's another problem with using a controller that's not the Xbox controller. I don't have any air controls either. Okay, it's over in here. Through all this rough stuff. And our last box. A branch incline corner. And that should be all our boxes. Yes, that's everything for us to find for this round. And then our next one is on to the next level of racing. But before we do that, we'll go back and we will redo some of these earlier races. But we're going to make a few little modifications to the car here. We're going to put a front on it. And we've got quite a few new parts in there. Some new parts in there. All the axles are opened up now. We're going to put a bumper bar here on the front. Because this will make it a little bit easier when we go up against the break the car challenge. It'll be less likely to break our car. Oh, don't have any license plates bought. My car needs 2 license plates. And if you click on here, it'll let you change it. And we'll be a screwdriver. And we'll put one on the rear as well. But we will actually use these because we'll put it up one level. So we'll buy a couple of these. And we'll go up one level like that. Put the rear bumper bar up just a little bit higher. And a number plate on the back. And again, we'll edit the name to be Screwdriver. And we're starting to get what looks like a chassis. Okay, now we've got a little bit of blocks on there, front and rear. Let's go and get this one here. Let's see if we can beat this fellow again. It'll be a bit easier with a faster car and a heavier car. And that's got him. He can't get away. He can't move. That's how it should have been done the first time. Back to the garage, and the other one that we didn't get gold was this one, the Rock and Drift, which we should be able to very easily beat this guy now. Now we've got more power and gears. When it loads, there we go. Ah, we can actually take off. It makes a really big difference when you've got gears. Much faster. Thread it through the trees, up over the jump. Parts falling off, parts falling off. Gently as he does it, we don't want to lose any wheels. The weight is not quite in the right spot to make the car handle properly. Corners. Oh, great. Thread it between the trees again without smashing. Nice and gently over the bumps. And there's our easy gold medal. Every race will be easy from now on. It's just a matter of going through them all. And now we're on a gold. Back to the garage. And they're all gold. And our next one that didn't get gold was the up the hill. And now we've got extra speed and extra acceleration on takeoff. We should be able to get the gold up here. Definitely going faster. There we go. Easy gold. And our last one that we didn't have gold was the long jump, which I still think that this one may not get through to being a long jump. One thing that you do have to do for long jumps is you do not want to have downforce on your car, because that will stop your car from going full distance and will push you to the ground early. That will take off our downforce. And then we'll go do the long jump. Back up so we can get maximum run up. All the way back here, and now we'll launch at it. And now we got gold. Back to the garage. Nothing left to find this one, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode, and we'll attack the next tier of races.